Hi guys, and welcome back to On the Fence. So Liverpool have returned to Premier League action after a couple of weeks away in Dubai for warm weather training, and rather than Hi guys, and welcome back to On the Fence. Liverpool returned to Premier League action against Leicester in the Premier League at Anfield, and we were hoping for a win, to restart the campaign again for this title race, that we're in very firmly in. But it didn't go that way. We've kind of conceded to a 1-1 draw against Leicester. Kind of feels a bit like a defeat, especially the fact that Liverpool were ahead in the game. But I think if you look at it from the context of how, the football that's been played this week, Manchester City losing against Newcastle yesterday, kind of makes a better reading if you think about it. We're now 5 points clear. We've actually still gained a point over Manchester City. So it's not as bad as it feels. But, from today, we should have won that game. We like I said, we go ahead from a Sadio Mane goal, very well worked in the first 3 minutes of the game. Little triangle on the left hand side, the way we normally play, giving it to Robbo, then he puts it inside, and this time Firmino manages to get a flick onto Mane, and then he puts it right in the bottom corner. Really great clinical finish from him. I thought at first it took a deflection, that's why Kasper Schmeichel couldn't get to it, but it was actually a really, really good finish from Mane. So, well done to him. But then, we just didn't keep onto the lead because after 15 minutes of our pressure, and we were dominant, to be fair, we really were, wave after wave of attack. And I feel like we wanted to get that second goal really badly, to wound Leicester and make them come out at us even more. But it just didn't come. We had a couple of chances here and there. Couple of half chances really, but nothing special, nothing to note, and there wasn't a lot of chances, to be fair. Not a lot of clear-cut chances anyway for either side, and we're made to pay in the 43rd minute or something like that when free kick gets whipped in. To be fair, the free kick, it was Robbo's fault. He was too naive. He goes in, and you should just stand your ground there, because Gini Wijnaldum and him were both covering Ricardo on the right hand side. He made the break and he was just going to turn back on himself, but Robbo has to put a foot in. He didn't need to do that, but he felt like he did, and gives away a foul. But we should defend it much better. And Maguire, to be fair to him, it's great play by the centre half. He just sneaks into the back post from the second ball in. It's a header by Maddison, I think it is, or someone else. And he's round the back and no one sees him. Everyone stepped out. He's gone the other way, and it's 1-1. To be fair, Leicester were quite good in this game. I'll give them a bit of credit. Couple of weeks ago, in our last Premier League game against Palace at Anfield, they were excellent, Palace, and we still managed to just, in spells, we played fantastically and just got the edge over them. In this game, I think Leicester played us really well. The shape and the structure of the team were quite good, and that's where they kind of got their joy out of us. The structure, they were structured in like a 4-4-2. And, their wingers and the forwards like Vardy, Maddison, Gray and Albrighton, their game is to chase down lost causes. And I think Liverpool were guilty at times in the first half, late in the first half anyway, of just overplaying, losing the ball in stupid situations. And, Leicester doing to us what we do to other teams. And I've seen that a few times this season from Liverpool, getting caught out in a press, which is what we're normally good at. But Leicester did well to break our kind of press and to start the press of their own. And Alisson as well, he made a couple of mistakes in this game. One of them did lead to a chance from a whipped in cross from Albrighton after the ball doesn't get cleared by Alisson, and the ball's whipped in by Albrighton, and Maddison should score, to be fair to him. Alisson dives out the way because he thinks he's going to Alisson's right, but Maddison tries to head it back to Vardy for some weird reason, but he's square in front of the goal. He shouldn't do that. He should just try and nod it in, and we got away with that really. So. And that was before they scored their first goal, so it could have been a lot worse, if I'm completely honest. Liverpool just kind of, we stuttered to get out of first gear after the first 15 minutes, because, like I said, we were great and we were dominant. But after that, after Leicester weathered the storm and then they got the equaliser, it was kind of a bit drab, and Liverpool were trying things, and it didn't really come off. But I think a lot of that is to do with the warm weather break we went to. It's always going to happen. You go away for a couple of weeks. Some of the other teams are still playing. Leicester, one of those. I think I don't think they have an FA Cup game, but they were in the action kind of thing, and we come back cold, and we just kind of stuttered to get over the line. But look, like I said, I can't say it enough. This isn't. Even though it feels like it's not 2 points lost, because we've gained on Manchester City again. We're 5 points clear now. Rather than the 4. It could have just been 4 at the end of today. But they slipped up. We kind of slipped up, but for our standards, but we still gained a point over City. I think that's the first point we've dropped against the team outside the top 5 this season, which if you put that in context as well, we're at the end of January. That's a fantastic stat, to be fair. I've talked about the triangles. I just kind of want to go back to the Salah thing in the first half, the possible penalty decision. I think a lot's been made in the media about Mo Salah. Now, I'll defend Mo Salah to the hill because he's a fantastic player. And most weeks he does get fouled. It's quite clear to see. You watch the evidence on replays and stuff like that. The past, everyone talks about the past 4 or 5 penalties that he's got for Liverpool, and you talk about him diving and this, that, the other, and over exaggerating the contact. And I don't agree. I think every other time, he's gained penalties, he's been fouled in the process. So people need to just kind of look at the evidence and not be so overcritical. It's because he's a Liverpool player. It's because we're top of the league. That's why people are criticizing him for diving, but he's not diving. He's getting fouled. And to be fair, this kind of comes onto the officials, onto their backs, because when players get fouled, if they stay on their feet, they're not getting a penalty, and it should be changed. It shouldn't have to be that a player needs to go down to get a penalty, because that's why players do what they do. And I'm not justifying if Salah was to dive, because I'm going to come to it. In this game, he does over exaggerate the contact. Yeah, he does kind of get blocked off by Maguire, but this is Liverpool. Football is a contact sport, so you can't expect to be touched, and every time you get touched to get a penalty. So in this instance, Mo Salah was in the wrong to throw himself to the floor. He kind of gets an elbow in the throat, and that does hurt. I've had that before, but he's over exaggerated the contact in this instance. But the previous times before that, he hasn't. So fans can criticize him today if they want to. I'm not going to criticize him. I'm just going to say, maybe stay on your feet, maybe fight a bit more. Maybe if you fought a bit more and chased the ball instead of going down, you might have just got a nick on the ball and put it in the back of the net, rather than trying to get a penalty for yourself. And all this nonsense surrounding Salah from opposition fans can just get to fuck, to be fair. Salah's a fantastic player. He's borderline world class. He showed it last season. He's still showing it this season, even though his goals aren't quite up to the tally of last season. He's still a phenomenal player, and he's a danger to every team in the league. And, he's one of the best players in the Premier League. He has been for a year and a half now, and he'll probably continue to do that. And that's why people are trying to get on his back. He wins penalties because he gets fouled for the most part. Today, he threw himself to the floor a bit too easily. Make of it what you will. I've talked about, so go into half-time, 1-1. But then the second half comes out, and, you're expecting Liverpool to carry on with the waves of pressure, but it kind of started the other way around. Leicester with the better side in the second half. We started quite slow, quite laboured. How you'd expect the first half to go. If you're looking at it from being away for 2 weeks, we come back, and the first half you'd probably expect it to be quite slow and quite laboured, but it's the way around. To be fair, the first half we come out the blocks quickly, and that's where we get the first goal from. But second half we start slow. Maybe we were just overconfident, expecting the fact that in recent weeks we've conceded and then we've gone and scored the other goals. Look at a couple of weeks ago against Palace, the game against Arsenal, 5-1. Maybe Liverpool are too confident in their own abilities, and that's a dangerous thing, because what we've got to realise is, Premier League wise anyway, if we take Champions League out of context, right? Premier League, every game from now to the end of the season is going to be a fight, and we're going to have to expect that it's going to be a fight, because teams are going to want to knock us off the top, because that's just the nature of football. The teams that are lower down, they look at the teams at the top and they think, we're going to take something off you, and it doesn't matter what they take off you. Some teams might leave one in on you, try and foul your players because it makes them feel better. Some teams just want to genuinely, attack you. Some teams want to just frustrate you and cause you problems, and we're going to come up against all these different types of tests, and we need to be ready for them. I feel like today we just weren't ready for the test of Leicester, and they kind of got the better of us in some instances. And, like I said, Leicester played quite well, played the way they play. And I thought the lad that come on in the last 20 minutes, Hamza Chowdhury, the young lad that he come through, I think he was at Man United, I'm not too sure, before he went to Leicester. And, he did quite well when he come on. I remember the one tackle he makes on Mane when we're breaking on them, and he shows great pace and great desire to get back. To chase Sadio Mane of all people, comes back and makes a fantastic block. So he looks like a good little prospect for the future for them. Anyway, we make the changes. We bring on Fabinho, we bring on Lallana, taking off Keita and Shaqiri, and we kind of change the shape a little bit. Salah goes up top, Firmino drops into the 10, and we've got whoever out wide, Lallana on the left, and I think Mane on the right. I'm not too sure. And we try and turn the screw, and we do start making chances after chance, but nothing really comes. And then we bring Sturridge on for Firmino as well. I think just before Sturridge comes on, we do have a penalty appeal. That should be a penalty. In this instance, I talked about the Salah one where he goes down too easily. It's not a penalty. This one on Naby Keita is a penalty. We play really well. We see a little glimpse of Naby Keita from RB Leipzig from last season. He plays the 1-2 with Firmino. Firmino plays a great ball into his path. He breaks into the box, and just at the vital moment as he's about to shoot, I think it's Ricardo just gets a nick on his leg, and he takes his leg, and Keita goes down. It should be a penalty. It really should, but the referee doesn't give it. And this is the thing, because this is why all this shit's going on about penalties and stuff like that, and everyone's talking about VAR, because referees aren't going to get every decision right. If anything, they're going to get probably less than 50% of decisions right, because it's just the nature of it. There's so many things going on in games. There's so much pace to the game that, refs aren't going to get things right, and assistants aren't going to get things right either, And we should have got a penalty there, and there was an offside later on that we probably should have got as well. But, I've seen us get these decisions for us, and when they probably shouldn't have been in the past. First game of the season, Sadio Mane's offside. I know that game's a 4-0, so it doesn't really compare because we were probably going to win the game anyway. But I think the second goal in the game, Mane's offside, and we get the break and it's a goal. But we might have had penalty appeals on the other for opposition teams, and then we've gone and scored the other end. I think it was against Fulham, that one, or someone like that. And in this instance, we just haven't got the penalty when we should have. But swings and roundabouts, you make your own luck, but sometimes you are unlucky as well. So it is what it is. I do think it was a penalty, but unfortunately, it wasn't given. But no major problems with the reffing today. I just think, like, overall, officials really, really need to do something about players diving, and the only way they're going to do it is by giving fouls when people are fouled. Not just wait until they go down to see the contact clear as day. They need to see as soon as someone's touched. If it knocks them back a little bit and they try and stay on the feet, reward them for it. It's a penalty. That's a foul. That's a penalty. And all this advantage and shit like that. They just need to do something about it. And they're in a better position than I am, because I wish I could sort it out, because then people would stop criticizing Salah for diving, and players would get penalties when they deserve it and things like that. So yeah, a 1-1 isn't that bad. As much as I've just gone on a kind of little mini rant, I'm not upset. I'm not disappointed. It would have been great for Liverpool to go and get a goal at the end. It kind of looked like we were going to, but we didn't. But yeah, look, I'm not mad. I'm not at all. Liverpool have just gained a point over Manchester City. Take with it what you will. Leicester were a tough team to play. We were probably lucky to play them in September, at the start of September when we did, or the end of August at the start of the season away, because away at Leicester is a tough trip, and even when they come to Anfield as well, they're a good side, and we did well to kind of stay in the game when they were on top as well. So yeah, there's going to be tougher tests than this towards the end of the season, trust me. We've got quite a few decent little games coming up. I think Bournemouth and United coming up before we play Bayern Munich in the Champions League. So let's just not hang our heads, keep our heads up, because it's a good point in the grand scheme of things, because we are still in the driving seat. So let's just go to the next game and win it. I think against Bournemouth, I'm not too sure. Hat's really itchy. So yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Give it a like if you think Liverpool are gonna. I'm not even gonna say it. Yeah, just drop a like on the video. Thank you guys for watching. Comment down below if you want me to discuss any other topics, and I'll see you for the next game, probably at the weekend. I'm not too sure, against Bournemouth or whoever it's going to be. Thank you for watching. Stay positive, Reds. Keep your heads up. Take care.